listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. Yeah.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, you know, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, you know, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy at philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy
at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
The important point is that this is not 2008. What has happened it's not a systemic, it's a crisis, it's not a banking crisis.
Not a banking crisis, really. Unbelievable. These people just don't want to tell the truth. This banking crisis we're in right now is actually bigger than 2008. In 2008, there was 400 banks that went down. The first 25 banks went down almost immediately. So if you take the two banks, if you take the Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, those two banks, they did more destruction than the 25 banks together in 2008. Oh, this is far bigger. It's not over. You think it's just a handful of banks? That's insane. But before I get into that and get back to these big tech stocks, I want to show you something. I've been in this business for over 54 years, and I've seen this divergence. I'm going to show you. If you're following me on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Apple, you can see this. Very important. So it's up on my chart right now. And what I have there, in case you can't see it, and You just can't. Just go to my site tonight, philsgang.com, and it's archived, because this is really, really important. Because, again, if you look at this chart, I have the NASDAQ up and I have the Dow up for those who can't see this. Now, just give me 1 second so I can get this right for you. This is really important, okay? Let's see. There we go. All right, so let me move this over. So, if you notice, there's a huge divergence. Big divergence. If you look at the NASDAQ, look how the NASDAQ has rallied. Now, let's take the quarter right now, the one that we got this big rally in right now, okay? And look how we got the NASDAQ going up. But look what's going on with the Dow. The Dow is going down. Anytime you see the NASDAQ rallying, but you see the Dow going down, that means the economy, okay, is getting much worse. So the economy is getting worse while you got the NASDAQ stocks going up. That's a divergence. Is very dangerous. That's happened like 3 times before this, and each time ended up in a disaster. It's just like when you follow the transports. If you see the S&P is going up and the transports are going down, that's another dangerous divergence. And every time you see that, doesn't end well. Nor does NASDAQ rallying and the Dow going down end well. So just, you can see it right there. And nobody's talking about that. Also, you know, while everybody's fixated on these, on NVIDIA, okay, and Apple and Microsoft, they just don't get it. They don't get it. Because the other banks, okay, that we have, if you look at, I mean, the other stocks, let me bring these out here. If you think about it, if you look at Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Amazon, what the tourists don't realize, the S&P 500, okay, is so important, much more important than those stocks. Because the S&P is measured, okay, by presidents, by leaders all over the world. They look to the S&P to identify how is the health of the U.S. economy. They don't look at NVIDIA. They don't look at Amazon or Apple. They look at the S&P 500. And anybody that's a president in this country, that's what they look to determine how are they doing. So I don't care if it's Kennedy or Bush or Biden, they always look to the S&P to identify their own performance. So that's what's really important. And when you look at these stocks, the S&P, if you want to say these stocks, if you look at Microsoft and Apple, they're far more important than NVIDIA, I'll tell you that, or Amazon. Apple and Microsoft, they do all the heavy lifting of the S&P 500. They're it. Again, they identify the health of U.S. corporations, and it doesn't lie. Here's something that's also amazing that people don't realize while they're chasing around NVIDIA. Apple and Microsoft, as I say, do the heavy lifting. Now, those two stocks, think about this. When you look at all the 401ks, all the pension funds, all the endowments, all the insurance companies, you take the aggregate of their money that they invested is about $15 trillion. And that $15 trillion, okay, that $15 trillion is riding on the performance of just 2 stocks of the S&P 500 stocks, Microsoft and Apple. Let me repeat that. So all the big pension funds, all the 401ks, all the endowments, all the insurance companies, even hedge funds, they have about a total of $15 trillion. And in that S&P, there's two stocks that they depend on, Microsoft and Apple. See, far more important than NVIDIA. That's what most people don't realize. So it's not NVIDIA or Google or Amazon. No. Now there's something else that goes on with the S&P. Now, you ever notice that all of a sudden the market goes down 500 points during the day, and all of a sudden it turns around the same day and it'll close up 200, or it goes down 400 and then it'll be up 150, or let's say it closes down 200. And the next morning it says implied open, 35 or 65. Well, that's the plunger team. And who's that? Well, that's the chairs. The chairman, the Secretary of Treasury, the chair of the Federal Reserve, the chair of the SEC, and the chair of the CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and, of course, the president. That's called the plunger team, the Working Council on Markets. And they realize, remember, as I said, the president knows that he's judged, his performance is judged by the S&P. He also knows that what drives the S&P are two stocks, Microsoft and Apple. Now think about that for a moment. And if you remember the day that in March, I think it was March 13th, whatever it was, that's when the Silicon Valley Bank blew up, and then Signature Bank blew up, and everybody was panicking. Everybody was going nuts, right? Everybody thought the market was going to collapse that day. These are the two largest regional banks. They thought it was over. But the market, the S&P, still closed up 3.5%. How could that be? More when I get back. Life's all not about NVIDIA, believe me.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my Patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so NVIDIA. Sure, that's important. And people are asking, should I stay in it? I'm going to tell you that in a moment. We're in it, but we're taking profits. Not all. But what's most important, what I'm going to try to get across to you today, is you really got to watch the S&P. You got to watch Microsoft and Apple. It's the S&P. That's what you're going to find out if your market's going to crash or not. And that's where all the market manipulation is in Microsoft and Apple. And they manipulate the S&P. Every president does, because they're judged on the S&P. And that's why the plunger team will come in when the S&P is having a problem, starts dropping. They come in and they run it right back up. How many times do we see that happen? Down during the day, 300 points, goes right back up. 500 points, back up. It's called financial engineering. Now, the day that we had the two largest regional banks go bust, that was in March, okay, now you would think at the same time, remember what was going on. The bond market was going nuts. The oil market was collapsing. I mean, everything was just falling apart. There was a sheer panic was going on. I mean, it was unbelievable. So the regional banks, those stocks, if you recall at the same time, because we were short those stocks, the regional banks suffered their worst day ever in the stock market. The First Republic Bank went down 60%. Now, I want you to think about this. How did the market end up being up on the day? 3.5%. When on March 13th, you had the two biggest banks collapse. The regional banks suffered their worst day ever in the stock market. Republic Bank lost 60% of its value in stock. The volatility was going nuts. The bond market was going nuts. Oil prices were tanking. The dollar was tanking. Yet, the S&P, much of the day, remember we were following it, the S&P wasn't going down. We kept saying, what's going on? The S&P should collapse. No, what people don't understand is that S&P is controlled by Microsoft and Apple. And who controls Microsoft and Apple? The Federal Reserve and, of course, the plunger team. So if you think about it for a moment, with all that nonsense, and the S&P all day long stayed positive, you think NVIDIA is important? And when we closed that day, nobody even noticed. The S&P maybe declined like 0.1%. My God. Now why? All that credit goes to Microsoft. All that credit goes to Apple. Because what they did, the plunger team came in, right, in the Federal Reserve, and they made sure to counter the Silicon Valley crash, the regional, all the other banks that were collapsing, the First Republic Bank going down 60%, the bond market going crazy, oil prices tanking, dollar tanking. So they said, well, we'll just move up Microsoft and Apple 15%. What? There you go. It was Microsoft and Apple always saves the day. That's the two stocks you got to watch. And we always have our members in Microsoft and Apple. That's the one you got to watch. When those two start tanking, then you know they're not going to save the market. When people ask, how do you know when the market's really going to go down? Well, there's a lot of different things that you look at, especially if you look at our color-coded chart, because that's never wrong. When big institutions are pulling money out, our chart turns red. But on the other side, you always watch Microsoft and Apple, because if they decide, remember, nobody's too big. And the day that Microsoft and Apple starts plunging, it's over. It's over. So you get these. So you got the NVIDIA, and you got Microsoft, you got Apple, you got these tech stocks, right? Amazon, NVIDIA, Apple, Meta, Microsoft. Yeah, they're going up. They're going up. But that's not what you look at for a market crash. Keep looking at Microsoft and Apple. Now, how'd they get so big? Think about it. They grew from the zero interest rates. Remember, in 2008, when the market crashed, all people ever bought was value stocks. They don't buy growth stocks, speculative stocks. I mean, I showed you the other day. And when you looked at the earnings of these four big tech stocks, those stocks were soaring, but their earnings for the last quarter were not great. That's right. The last quarter was not great, but those kept on soaring. Those same stocks keep going up. But remember, when Microsoft and Apple became leader, it was because when they dropped interest rates to zero in 2008, they started the stock buyback programs. When they started what they call QE, they grew out of that atmosphere of free money. Then what happened was all the big institutional money, they switched from value stocks and they wanted to go into more risky tech stocks. Because see, tech stocks, you don't need to have earnings for those to go up. No, you don't. You don't have to have earnings. You don't have to have profits. I mean, I gave you some numbers the other day. These stocks were going up, right? But their earnings were terrible. So right at that point in 2008, when they dropped interest rates to zero, the investor community, the smart money, not the tourist money, the smart money said, you know what? Why are we fiddling around with value stocks? Let's just keep buying tech stocks. As long as they keep interest rates at near zero, This market's only going to go straight up. It did 1,400 points, 1,400% rather, 1,400% in tech. Do you think that was because of earnings? Because of profits? No. It was all driven by zero rates. So when you hear how they're going to stop now raising rates and drop them back again, I don't think so. I'll explain that when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com. What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. It tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good, we consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
If you get anything out of this show today, is that you'll identify if the market's going to crash by watching Microsoft and Apple, not NVIDIA, not Amazon, not Google, because they're the ones that hold up the S&P 500. Out of the 500 stocks, those two stocks do it all. And the proof came in March when those banks collapsed and everything was collapsing around us. The market should have tanked at least 1,000 points that day. I mean, how do you get away with the market doing just ducky? I mean, ended up 3.5% at the end of the day, when you got the biggest regional banks in the country falling apart. And the bond market was falling apart. Oil was tanking, dollar tanking. Come on. So it was all about the plunger team making sure that they kept Microsoft and Apple in the game. And Microsoft and Apple went up about 15%. That's what you owe that day, too. It's Microsoft and Apple. We would have been down big. That crash would have began right there. The crash we're going to finally have would have started early with that. But they protected it. They rigged it. So that's what you look at. Now remember, those two stocks grew out of that 2008 QE, zero rates, stock buybacks. That's what it grew out of. Now, let's talk about the rally we just had here. If you go back and take a look at the first quarter 2023, okay? If you look at the 12 months ending, do it this way. Look at the 12 months ending March 31, 2023. This is crazy. Now, if we look at the earnings per share, we had, I want to get you the right numbers. If you look at the earnings per share, Apple was down 4.23%. Earnings per share, they were down, negative 4.23. But yet, the stock was going up 40%. What the hell? Now, if you take, again, 12 months ending March 31st, 2023, that's the end. So we had Meta was going down, the earnings per share was dropping 38.82, negative 38.82. That was Meta. But the stock was rallying 100%, while earnings per share of Meta dropped 38%. Crazy. Microsoft was up 43%. 43%. But earnings per share, again, ending March 31, 2023, that's the first quarter, was down 3.5%. NVIDIA was up 98%. 98% NVIDIA. And their earnings, and when I saw this number, you correct me if I'm wrong, Will, their earnings were down, what, 38%? No, 54%. 54.81. So NVIDIA is soaring. Remember now, this is 12 months ending March 31st, 2023. That's the quarter. First quarter. and NVIDIA was tanking the earnings per share minus 54%, while the stock was going up nearly 100%. Crazy. Now, we were in the same stocks, but we know when to get out. Meta. We first bought Meta December 2022, from December 2022 to February 2023, up 64%. Then we got back in, we took profits, and we got back in March 2023. We stayed in from March 2023 to April 2023. It's another 26%. We took profits. We got back in May. And where we are today, from May to now, up 11%. Apple. January, we got in. See, after we had the big crash, I told my members, we got to start buying these stocks because we're going to have a big short covering. The big institutions are going to come in. Anytime you have a 35% drop, we got to buy these. And we did. Apple, we bought in January 2023 to February 2023, up 7%. Took profits, got out, pulled back. We did a little shorting. Then we got back in again on March 2023, March to May, up 13%. Microsoft, same thing. We got in January 2023 to February 2023, up 12%. Got out, took some profits, got back in March to April, up 5%. Got back in April to May, up 12%. NVIDIA, January, got in from January 2023 to May 2023, up 76%. Now, I'm not saying all my gang members made all those profits. What I'm saying is, if you're watching our color-coded chart that tells you when to buy and when to sell, and it's exact and it works, and we always have our gang members take profits, they would have caught a good portion of all of these profits, no question about it. So while we're rallying these, we do realize one thing: this market's going to go down big. It's going to tank. But every time this market goes to tank, starting with the S&P, what do? They come in and financially engineer the market, just like they did the day when the biggest regional banks in the country crashed. The market should have been 1,000 points, just like now. Same thing. This market should be down. Do you remember back in 2011 we had the same situation with the debt ceiling? And they downgraded us from AAA to single A. We went down 1,100 points that day. What did we get yesterday? A warning. A warning? A warning? See, there's no integrity any longer in these rating agencies. JP Morgan took care of that. What's his name over there? JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon. When he had them, remember he bought all the rating agencies off? What did he do? Took all those subprime mortgages that were no good, weren't performing, packaged them. He couldn't sell them to anybody. Then he goes to the rating agencies and he takes them from an F or a D or an F, whatever it was, and said stamp AAA on these. I don't know what they got for it, but I'm sure they can get a kiss on the cheek. I'm sure they weren't swapping spit with each other. What happened? Boom! Jamie Dimon could sell any piece of garbage he had. So please, when you hear all this nonsense, how this market's going to continue to go up, it's not going to stop. And this AI, that's one of the things that's helped in March. You know that? In March, when the banks were collapsing, we should have gone down at least 1,200 points. One of the biggest things we're holding up the market, all this AI talk, artificial intelligence. Everybody's talking about now that the tech market is starting a new .com. We're going to have a new .com era. What are you, nuts? This is when people get hit hard. So if you join our gang, you'll catch them like we did on the way up, and you're going to get out before anybody does, and you're going to turn around and short it. And this is what we do here. But I have to laugh. I mean, the whole world now is NVIDIA. Everybody's buying NVIDIA. And what have we been doing? We've been shorting Hershey. Everybody's jumping out of Hershey, right? So we shorted it. We got a beautiful short going on Hershey. We got a beautiful short going on McDonald's. We got a beautiful short going on Starbucks. We got a beautiful short going on, what's the other one we did? Clorox. It's another one. Clorox. We did a beautiful short on Clorox. Here we are. Coke, Hershey, Clorox, Nike, McDonald's, Starbucks, Walmart. We got a ton of shorts. Why? Because they're all going over to NVIDIA. Were they nuts? More when I get back. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
Warning: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call. at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, good afternoon, gang. It's Steve Celeste here with PhilsGang.com. Just wanted to tell you how to get engaged with Phil's Gang and how to become part of the Phil's Gang membership or how to try us for 10 days free. Simply go to PhilsGang.com. That's www.philsgang.com and click on Get Started at the top of the website. Click on the big red banner that says Working Investor 10-day free trial, and that's all you got to do. And hey, while you're at the website, why not stop by our gift shop, see if there's something in there for you or for somebody you know. All right, thanks, and back to you, Phil.
That's right. And Stevie's probably one of the best, probably is one of the best instructors I've seen over my 54 years in this business. Makes it so simple. He starts you out with 6 stocks, 6 terrific stocks. And every day he guides you to those 6 stocks when you remember. It's beautiful. And you learn how to sell short. You learn how to sell short as well as when to execute. Execution is really, really so important. You just don't buy a stock because Jim Cramer gets up there. I know the CEO of the Cramer. He's a good friend of mine. Blah, blah, blah. So many people do that, and they lose money. We're already shorting. We shorted 2 of his stocks. We're doing terrific. CVS, we're up about 15%. He said to buy it. We take the opposite side. Now we got another one. We're taking the opposite side. It's It's TWNK. That's Hostess. That's ready to break. But anyways, join our gang, and you're going to learn how the market works. That's the problem. People don't understand how the market works. How many people understood that it's Microsoft and Apple that they keep rigging the plunger team, the Federal Reserve, to make sure those don't fall? Because who's on the plunger team? The president. And the S&P 500 stocks is what the world looks at to identify the kind of job he's doing. Of course they rigged the market. So when the markets were collapsing that day and the banks were collapsing, they were in there 24/7 making sure this market didn't go down. But they're not bigger than the market. Nobody's bigger than the market. So you just got to learn how to sell short. You just got to learn how to watch the bond market. The bond market's important. Once you learn how the bond market works, it's so easy. You're just watching the yields. You know exactly when to get in what group of stocks. So if the yields are up, you get in some stocks you get in, some stock groups you get in, some stock groups you don't. You got to know the difference. We do all this for you. And at the end of 10 days, if you decide not to stay with us, that's fine. You use our knowledge and you're making some money, that's great too. But just remember St. Jude, please. Okay, I was really disgusted when I heard this. Why can't people just tell the truth? This is Jean-Pierre from France.
I would say, if you look at what the president has done the last 2 years and the leadership that he has shown in passing historic pieces of legislation, passing in the Inflation Reduction Act, when he brought the Democrats together to pass his first legislation, which is the American Rescue Plan, that helped get the economy back on its feet, that is a president that has led.
Are you kidding me? What's he done? Destroyed our oil independence. It refuses to protect our southern border. Are you kidding? He's been dividing our country. He's been dividing us. The mega group and this group. Are you kidding? He's been injecting anti-American propaganda in our schools, our colleges. It's in our curriculums, in our schools. Along with anti-patriotism and pro-socialism materials. In books. That's what he's done. The infrastructure bill, I mean, think about the infrastructure bill. Look at the money he put into that thing. $400 billion. What infrastructure? $10 billion went to create a civilian climate corp. I wonder what their uniforms look like. They must have a uniform, all little trees. Must be all little trees on their shirt, little trees, don't you think? Unbelievable. $20 billion for advanced racial equity and environmental justice. What the hell is that? Why couldn't we put that towards kids? Send that to the kids for cancer. For God's sakes. Send it to St. Jude's. Are you kidding me? To create a civilian climate corps? $10 billion? That's more important than that $10 billion to St. Jude's? To do an advanced racial equity and environmental justice team? $20 billion? That's more important than kids with cancer? $175 billion in subsidies for electric vehicles? Give me a break. This is what he's done? This is what she's bragging about? Unbelievable. Greener. $100 billion for new public schools and marketing school and making school lunches greener. They're going to be. All of the kids are out and say, "Okay, it's time for lunch." You have them all go outside. You say, "Okay, get on your knees, start eating the grass now." What the hell's wrong with these people? The American Rescue Plan. $10 million for a gender program in Pakistan. For God's sakes. In Pakistan. This is nuts. Funds for a resource study of Springfield, Illinois' race riot that occurred in 1908. 1908. $40 million will be allocated for what the heck it is, of something to do with the COVID relief bill. They're sending $86 million for assistance to Cambodia, $130 million to Nepal, $135 million to Burma, $453 million to Ukraine. He just prints money. And you don't think this market's going to crash? Oh, just get into NVIDIA, you'll be okay. Everybody get into NVIDIA. Just go long NVIDIA, you're going to be just fine, don't worry. And we got all these tourists coming out. They're all coming out of Clorox, and they're going to NVIDIA. And there we are, shorting Clorox. Thank you for doing that, because we'll just keep shorting Clorox. Nike, we shorted that. Everybody's getting out of Nike, going into NVIDIA. We shorted that, 12%. This is crazy stuff, what's going on here. And then they have, I won't get into that. Then they have all these other programs. What was the program they had for, where's that? Is that on here? How much was that? I forget how many millions, 120 million or something like that, or 10 million for the LBG, what is it? LGBTQZYAK Museum. Are you kidding me? Hey kids, get in the van. We're going to go down to the LBGKTVGVZ Museum Saturday morning. Wouldn't that be interesting for the kids? Look, the stock market, I told you, if you just join our gang, you will know exactly when this market's going to crash. And when it crashes, you're going to be ready and you're going to make money on your way down. Right now, your 401k, your pension fund right now, is depending on two stocks. That's right. Think about it. Your 401k, your pension fund, your insurance company, all dependent on two stocks, Apple and Microsoft. That is insane. And NVIDIA. Are you kidding me? I can't wait till we short that stock, NVIDIA. What do you think happens when everybody gets on one side of the boat? That's what they're doing now at NVIDIA. I mean, it's a mass run to NVIDIA. Everybody's getting on one side of the boat. It tips over. We have now the largest national debt. This is from Biden. She's bragging how great he is. Largest national debt, largest interest payments of $500 billion, largest trade deficits, $1.2 trillion. Are you kidding? Largest net worth loss, $20 trillion. The largest net loss, $1.2 trillion. And he wiped out, so far, with his genius, $675 billion in our market value. The government's broke. Net loss, $1.2 trillion. Come on. And she's bragging how what he's done. Record high household debt, record mortgage debt, record auto debt. And what does she say? He's doing such a great job. He's a real leader, man.
I would say, if you look at what the president has done the last 2 years and the leadership that he has shown in passing historic pieces of...
Wow, he's a leader. Destroyed our oil independence, refused to protect our borders, divided us as people, as a nation. Look, Just focus on the stock market where the money is. Join our gang so you can learn how to buy a stock, execute a stock, but sell short a stock. When you go to bed tonight, think before in case I'm dependent on two stocks.
Listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.